Peace is much more difficult. It demands much more of us than all wars. The time has come. This is why I declare that today, France recognises the state of Palestine.
Again, we thank those countries that have recognised or have announced their intention to recognise the state of Palestine.
It was the French and Saudi Arabians who have spearheaded the push, which has seen multiple countries recognise Palestinian statehood.
Decades of diplomacy have come up short. The situation is intolerable and it is deteriorating by the hour.
The move by France, the UK, Canada and Australia, among others, to recognise the state of Palestine has been attacked by Israel and by the United States as mere symbolism or as playing into the hands of Hamas. But there was power in today's events at the United Nations in the spectre of nation after nation endorsing the idea, in the collective global protest about what is now happening in Gaza and the West Bank.
Recognising the aspirations of the Palestinian people is about more than a seat, a voice and a vote in the councils of the world. It is about real hope for a place to call home. This is the same hope that sustained generations of Jewish people, the same hope that binds us all to our countries and cultures.
We commend the positions of those countries that recognized the state of Palestine. I address the Israeli people, saying our future and yours banks on peace.
But what we have witnessed today at the UN is the manifestation of some much larger shifts in geopolitics, which aren't just about the symbolism of statehood. The push to have some of Israel's closest allies, like France, the UK and Australia, recognise Palestine, is a pointer to a profound shift in the way the rest of the world now regards Israel. It is part of a roadmap led by France and Saudi Arabia, unveiled in July, known as the New York Declaration, aimed at pressuring Israel to stop its war in Gaza and aggressive incursions into the West Bank, and to create a workable government for the Palestinian people through the Palestinian Authority.
Our main goal was to deliver a very clear message that peace is possible. We wanted to buy an alternative to a permanent state of war in the region, and that alternative has to include and go through a two-state solution.
I have a clear message for those leaders who recognise a Palestinian state after the horrific massacre on October 7th. You are giving a huge reward to terrorism.
Saudi Arabia's involvement represents a shift in the politics of the Arab world on the conflict in Israel. In recent months, the Arab League has disowned Hamas and called for it to lay down its arms and withdraw from Gaza. Saudi's involvement also represents a choice and a challenge for Benjamin Netanyahu. The prospects of greater cooperation with the economic superpower of the region, Saudi Arabia, has been in prospect under the so-called Abraham Accords of 2020. That now seems unlikely.
Only through the establishment of a Palestinian state and only through addressing the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people to self-determination can we have sustainable peace and real integration in the region.
Well, I think the two-state solution conference in some ways is exceeding expectations. If you go back 3 or 4 months, diplomats were not confident that any country was actually going to put up their hand and recognise Palestine at this event. As it is, we've seen France, Britain, Australia stepping forward. But the reason that they're stepping forward is that everyone is so frustrated with the scale and the intensity of the Israeli campaign in Gaza that they feel they have to do something.
The power of the moves by France and Britain to recognise Palestine is that they are 2 of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. That means there is just one holdout state on the Council stopping Palestine being officially recognised as a country by the UN, the United States.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
They may have laughed at Donald Trump in 2018, but few at the United Nations are laughing now. President Trump 2.0 has shown even less regard for the United Nations and its opinions since returning to the White House.
President Trump will deliver a major speech touting the renewal of American strength around the world, his historic accomplishments in just 8 months, including the ending of 7 global wars and conflicts. The president will also touch upon how globalist institutions have significantly decayed the world order.
And his administration has only moved more firmly behind Israel and its actions in Gaza in recent weeks. And he doesn't support recognition of Palestine.
He disagrees with this decision. He believes these decisions are just more talk and not enough action from some of our friends and allies.
The US is an essential actor, and is certainly an essential actor in what concerns peace in the Middle East. And President Trump has, in fact, had success already in this regard. He was able to facilitate the first and only ceasefire so far.
All eyes will now be on what Donald Trump says in his address to the UN General Assembly tomorrow, and what then happens when he meets Arab and Muslim leaders afterwards. It will be his first direct meeting with these leaders since his return to the White House. Whatever his views on Israel, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Qatar and Saudi Arabia are all strong US allies. He may be about to put a whole lot of people offside.